welcome to another episode of the House of Aquarius podcast. It is your favorite Aquarius Make-A-Wish in the building. Oh, I wasn't going to do this right now, but I'm sitting here in my father-in-law's pickup truck, waiting for the street cleaner to go by so I can, I gotta get rid of some furniture for my other business, If you look, you see that? Back in the day, you see that guy? Yeah, that's a street cleaner. He's waiting for a certain time. He's trying to be nice, let people, get out the way before he starts cutting the tickets off, But while I'm here, though, waiting for this guy to go past so I can get back to business, let's talk about that House of Aquarius business, One I was looking at, talking, or doing for a little bit was, not a little bit, I'm sorry, a day or two. I just haven't time to actually sit down and do this. The relationship between Gemini and Pisces. Because, I was just talking to this girl the other day, right? And she was asking me some questions and all the good stuff. She's having a problem with a man and, all that kind of good jazz. So, I listened to the story. I get into the case study with this. But like I said, Gemini and Pisces. Okay. First and foremost, that is technically not a relationship that... Oh, sorry. Before I keep going, this is sun sign only talking, okay? No other parts of the astrology. I can't say it every single time. Every time I'm talking about this stuff, it's strictly about sun sign astrology, okay? So, by the books, Gemini and Pisces are a couple that number-wise don't really add up too well for the long duration. The reason being, Gemini, also by the way, this is a Gemini male, Pisces female, okay? Gemini, they are known to be interesting, to say the least. They are an air sign, and they tend to be, because air signs tend to be typically more logical in their lines of thinking and dealing with the emotions, which actually is funny because of all the three air signs, Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini is actually, I feel, right in the middle from my personal experiences in regards to the emotional output and all the good stuff, but they also could be quite brash. They have a tendency to be able to inject their will into the other person by either one, strong, good, persuasive conversation, quote unquote manipulativeness, getting their way. They ever has a habit of influencing the other person other people to do what they want to do. Again, like I said, good politician, to say the least. Shiny object syndrome. But yeah, also they also are emotionally detached to some degree. Not as much as the Aquarius is, but more than the Libra can be. And on that side of things, Pisces, they are a water sign, and they are quite emotional, to say the least. I mean, I was going to say it in like a negative context, but especially compared to air sign or Gemini in this situation, their emotions tend to be more outwardly projected, even though they have that mystical quality that keeps things so mysterious and inner outspoken. But when Pisces is in a relationship, what tends to happen is the Piscean will convert their style and their way to live their life towards the other person in the relationship. So in that regard, there are high time possibilities where they could be taken advantage of to some degree. But they try to not let themselves get too loose into it. Pisces is the romantic of the zodiac. Like, it don't get more romantical than this. That's why the typical coming at Pisces memes are either they're really angry or they're loving or they're always crying all the time. Tend to be like known as the crybabies of the zodiac. Now, with the two combined, Gemini loves. Actually, I won't get too far into this. I should put this into the next podcast. But I'll probably just do this. I'll just say both. Geminis, from what I've been noticing, they tend to have a high deal of conflict. They run towards it, or they cause a lot of it by accident. And in this regards, dealing with an emotional sign, there's going to be a lot of conflict. That's one of the reasons why they have a lot of quote-unquote issues in the relationship. Is simply because of the fact that the Gemini is going to influence and make the Piscean want to love and be closer to them, because they're smooth talkers, you know? They just say the right things all the right times, and they love to be stimulated intellectually. That's why you have a lot of good Geminis tend to have a lot of great stories and great conversations. They have, like, they're just a joy to be around. And strictly, like, you know, personal, social, platonic session. Personal, platonic session. Now, getting to some of the meat for this. It's kind of hard to jump into this like this if I'm going too far into the case study. So, in this case study here, the Piscean woman is having issues with the Gemini male. She, what's the best way to put this? So like I said, she's having issues dealing with his lack of emotional giving. Because Pisceans are very giving, especially in the emotional department, and they're very loving. But every time they have a lot. First of all, they have a lot of arguments, which that may be a very common thing too. Is if you are a Piscean or a Gemini or you have a relationship like this, let me know in the comments below if this is actually holds true or not, because I would love to know more information about this and see if it's a really consistent, constant thing. But they have a lot of arguments for whatever reason they have arguments about. Pisceans don't like to feel like they're being mistreated, but they're unfortunately a glutton for being mistreated in situations like this, especially by a smooth talker who's going to say what they want to say to get out of harm's way or to make things interesting. So, going back to that case study, where was that? They have a lot of arguments. This is what it was. They have a lot of arguments quite constantly over the littlest or biggest things, whatever it is, you know. And sometimes it tends to typically end bad their days. However, the saving grace they have in this situation is sex. Sex from a Gemini Piscean perspective, or they're both, what's the word I want to say? Rated highly up there in the sexual department. Pisceans are very romantical, and they like to inject their emotions into their especially their sexual sessions. Geminis, well, in this situation, I don't know if this is true or not, but I call this exactly how it was. She said to me that they don't have any issues, really, per se. Like, he doesn't always want to inject his emotion into the relationship. But anytime they have sex, all the emotions spill out. Like, I just said, they must have a whole bunch of interesting sex conversations, you know, just like, yo, how was your day? Man, I love the fucking Yankees. Yo, do you see that cat climbing on the couch the other day? Ridiculousness. So that's when I had the most conversation, like, in regards to emotional output, which I call that right on the nose. Because sex for a lot of people, is a very emotional and intimate thing. I say that for a lot of people because I'm an Aquarius, so everything is a little different for him, But not. I digress. I apologize. But yeah, in the situation, yeah, they have, like I said, they have a bunch of issues, and because of a lot of conflict they have due to simple arguments. This another situation, which depending on actually I kind of said it already. The Pisceans tend to be more adaptable. Well, actually, they're both mutable signs, so they're very open to doing things. And regardless, I can't say regardless if the person wanted to, but the Pisceans have a bigger issue of being adaptable to what happened. The Gemini has more open sexual ideas, so you can have an interesting relationship just by that. And when I'm thinking off the top of my head, every Gemini that I know has an interesting sex life. To what degree, I can't really say everyone, but I know that everything I heard was always like, oh, you don't want to say. But yeah, no, I mean, like, by the books, like, if I had to give you like a percentage wise of how like these gonna work the sun sign by themselves off that, I'll say like a 27 to 29% for a long-term relationship. The Geminis have a bad, nasty habit, moniker of being open to consistently needing more people in their life. Yeah, that's one of the biggest things about Geminis, that they like to have. They're always searching for the person to hold them, not accountable, but interested all the time. So that's why they have, according to the zodiac, they're in a lot of relationships. They're in one, but they have another person aside, because they're trying to fill all that void for the main person they're lacking. And that always could lead to a lot of, adultery, that kind of stuff. But if they're already in an open relationship or doing that kind of stuff, then that doesn't really matter too much. Then does it, huh? All that swinger life, that kind of shit, But yeah, it's interesting dynamic there. Like, I definitely want to advise those to be together, unless you want to have an interesting confrontational, argumentative lifestyle through and through. Gemini's not afraid to argue. Pisceans argue with the heart and emotions. So it's going to make an interesting dynamic. It's going to be a lot of stress though. So I definitely want to recommend that. However, if you're going to stick with that kind of situation, feel free to put down comments below if you want some advice for information, because even though I talk this astrology stuff, there's always more to life than just astrology. I say that in a very psychological aspect, We're all humans, all people, and we all have a lot of signs inside of us. If people don't, it doesn't even matter if you don't know your sign stuff, then it doesn't really matter per se, but there's always a starting block, a foundation of which astrology can give you to better your changes in relationships. Hence the reason why I'm so adamant about making sure you guys are aware of how you can better your life through astrology. The frame blocks, foundation, the cement in the ground, all the good jazz. So I'm gonna leave this one directly alone for now, because the case study is interesting. I might get more information about things and maybe do updates. I mean, all these things I'm talking about, I could update later, and I will definitely come back to the Gemini Pisces at a later point in time, because I still have to talk about the Gemini female and a Piscean male. Okay. Oh, I already have a Gemini one. I'm not gonna do that one next. Maybe next time. Well, either way, hope you guys enjoyed the information. Like, share, subscribe to the podcast. This one's gonna be a straight up post, so all of my random jiving and talking, that's getting the best of Ricky, the best to make a wish. You know what I'm saying? Like, share, subscribe, guys. Stay classy. Be you.